kind of onto that, if you wanted to transition into that Quinn Cook, Matthew Dellavedova, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that or the third point guard role in general?
Well, the third point guard role in general, it's not the most important role. Obviously, it's a third point guard, but Fox, he's dealt with injuries the last couple of years. He's been in the league. Mitchell was, I want to say, relatively healthy his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
I think he missed a little time, but of course, if you need, Mitchell or Fox go down, you need to rely on this guy to, play that backup point guard for however long that person's out. So, it's kind of nice. Cook or Dellavedova, I don't think you can go wrong with either. Cook a little shorter than Dellavedova. I think he's the better shooter. A little younger too. That's good. He's a couple-time NBA champ as well. And then you have Dellavedova, who's a little older. Can he make it back in the NBA? He hasn't been in the NBA for several years now. He's been in Australia, so it's kind of just like, could he make it if he's back in the league? I bet he could. He's the better defender, a little taller, like I was saying. So that's good matchup wise, and he seems to be shooting the three ball well in Australia, so that's an encouraging sign. It's not NBA, and Quinn Cook does have more recent NBA experience than Dellavedova, and has proven to shoot that three ball pretty well. So, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much who you go with. I think if you're looking on defense, you go with Dellavedova. And, he has that Mike Brown connection. He kind of has that, dog in him, if you will. Good locker room guy, good guy who, just a hustler, a grinder. And so, the Kings are trying to build a culture, and Dellavedova definitely encompasses that culture in him. So, and I'm a big Delly fan. Not a big Delly fan, but, the 2015 finals, was it?
Mm-hmm. It's the one where there's the first one where the Warriors and Kings, or not Kings, Warriors and Cavs played, where the Cavs lost, but he in game was it 2 and 3 or 1 and 2, just like harassed, completely Steph Curry, and it affected him. It's not like Steph Curry got like shut down, but he affected him. He was not efficient from the 3-point line or really anywhere, I don't think, in that game.
Yeah, and
people didn't want to give really credit. I remember, he from exhaustion and cramps and stuff.
It's crazy.
And it is. That guy literally put himself in a hospital bed because he worked so hard. Yeah. It was like, it was one of those things where it's like, if you were rooting for the Warriors or a fan of the Warriors, you hated that guy. It's just like, that is always a sign that it's a good player.
Yeah.
Generally. But I think what you're kind of saying there is like, there's not a lot that different. There are some things that differentiate between these two players, but not a ton. Like either one would be a good pick, is what you're saying. And I think you're 100% right. Cook's 29, Dellavedova's 32. Cook, the 3-point shooting. One of the things that James Ham said was that he, for Quinn Cook this offseason, his main focus is working on his 3-point shooting. So as long as that pays off, I think that probably gives him the edge. But at the end of the day, albeit he's not super long, Dellavedova is a little taller than him and is a little more defensively versatile in that sense. But, as much of a dog and a tenacious guy as Dellavedova is, Quinn Cook is as well. It'd be interesting to see. It'd just be nice, I think, in this sense, especially for the role that they're playing for. It'd be nice to see. It'd be interesting and just kind of pleasant to sit back and watch them duke it out, for lack of a better way of putting that. But, I think Quinn Cook has a few edges there. And I think also Ham also said that, or alluded to the fact that Quinn Cook has, I think, a better injury history. So if you're talking about a situation where you need somebody that you can depend on to fill in, if Fox misses a week or 2 or 3, or, what if Mitchell gets hurt or something. You need a guy to step up. You don't want them to get hurt. You don't want them to be prone to injury. And definitely the age factor factors into that as well. At 29 versus, I mean, Dellavedova just turned 32. To be fair to Cook, he'll be 30 in March, but he's 29 right now for the bulk of the season. So I think that's a big difference.
Yeah,
But
and
it's interesting.
I think to add on to Cook, and I mentioned that Dellavedova has that. I think I mentioned it that Dellavedova, played under Mike Brown when Mike Brown came back for a second stint in Cleveland. But Cook, Cook was on the not the Kings, but the Stockton Kings last year. So he's familiar with the organization. He's been here. I mean, you could almost say he put in his time to earn this spot. So.
Yeah, he might have a better relationship with players in general. I know that both the guys, because they were working out for the Kings in Vegas, reportedly, both the guys showed up to summer league games and sat with Kings players. I don't know. The only way I saw Dellavedova sitting with players I think was through a picture, because I think I watched all those summer league games, and if I remember correctly, I think I only caught Dellavedova sitting with the players in a picture. But Quinn Cook was in a footage, and I can't speak for how chummy Dellavedova was with the rest of the guys, but on that front, Cook seemed very comfortable with the guys he was sitting with. I can't remember exactly who it was, but
I know which picture you're referencing. I don't remember exactly who it was either.
But the Dellavedova picture, a picture, it's not, a picture at an event like that, like it doesn't tell anywhere near what you need to know. But Dellavedova's just kind of sitting there, kind of. I don't know.
I mean, it's good that they showed up. I mean, at least
absolutely, and they're hanging out with the guys. I mean, they definitely that's what we're one of the things here. It's just like both these guys are very viable candidates. It'd be interesting. But yeah, Cook probably has the edge in that regard and all those kind of factors.